Good morning, FlossTube. It's Shelley from Proverbs 31:22. Today is Monday, March the 9th, and I'm coming at you with a new FlossTube. Got quite a bit of things to share. And also, thanks you guys. Y'all got me up to my goal and past my goal. So my goal was to do a giveaway at 75 subscribers, and I'm currently at 88. So today, at the end of the video, you have to watch all the way through, fast forward, whatever you want to do, but I will be giving away a $25 Hobby Lobby gift card. So stay tuned for the instructions on how to enter for that. So thanks you guys. I'm excited. Love sharing my stitching and connecting with other stitchers all across the world. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I have one cross stitch FFO and then one quilted FFO. My cross stitch is the March, March version of Year of Celebrations by Hands On Design. I did do some color changes on this one, and some were on purpose, some were not. I got this little frame at Home Goods last November, and it's kind of tight to fit the pieces in, but I'm happy with it. And I got the little this little ribbon at Hobby Lobby and the little sparkly shamrock at Hobby Lobby. And I did before this month, I was just sort of basically just making a loop of Scotch tape and sticking the bows on. But this one, this ribbon's a little different. It's a little, I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, it didn't stick real well, so I just stuck a magnet to do that. So that's my one FFO. This is stitched on 28 count color. The color is tea-dyed. I didn't tea-dye it. Monaco. And I like stitching on Monaco. It's real soft, and it's soft, but it's sort of stiffer like Ada. So it holds its shape in your hand and doesn't just like drape, which is nice when you're stitching. It's a combination of some fancy flosses from some of my Chalkful kits and DMC. So that's my one FFO for cross stitch. And then this past Tuesday I was off and was able to go to our local Rogersville, Alabama Project Linus stitching group sew day. So I was able to finish my little sampler quilt. And that's it on the wall there, the pink and the yellow and the blue and the teal or aqua. These blocks were practice blocks on a Aditya Sitar quilt that I made, the Sew and Love quilt. And she suggested that you practice making new blocks. And so I just decided instead of just doing whatever, I would use some fat quarters that I gotten at Walmart on clearance. These are Waverly fabrics with little anchors on them, that I would use some of those to make a Project Linus quilt. And I really wasn't sure how I was going to quilt it, and sort of my standby fallback to for Project Linus things is just to do organic vertical lines. They're not supposed to be straight. They're not supposed to be evenly spaced. You just put the petal to the metal and go. So that's what I did. And I used like a navy thread to do it in. So I'm pretty happy with how that came out. So that will be, I'll be able to turn in 5 Project Linus quilts. The next time they have a meeting is in April. I won't be going to the meeting, like our big meeting in Huntsville is what I'm talking about. I won't be going to that because I have a lot of other stuff going on in April. But anyway, I will send them with our local leader. So those are my 2 FFOs. Whips and some haul. I'm going to do some of this together because I went on my first shop hop with the local East Lauderdale Quilters group this past Saturday, and I basically brought some of my cross stitch pieces that I'm very close to or anticipating being done with within the next, month and a half or so. I brought those pieces with me to find coordinating fabrics to finish them with. So I'm going to do some of my haul in with my whips. The first whip, though, that I want to talk about is the quilt behind me, the start of the quilt behind me. This is Out to Sea. It is a Blueprint kit. Basically, when Blueprint has their huge sales, I snap up quilt kits because they're phenomenal prices and you get a lot of fabric for that price. And then this quilt is going to be for my dad. And when I was hanging them this morning, it's like, I have an anchor theme going on. Not intentional, it was just sort of how it fell out. But a lot of these, like some of these half square triangles on here, like you only used portions of them. So I have a lot of pieces left that I can use either for the back of the quilt or to make another quilt. So depending where it ends up with how much I have at the end, I may either make a Project Linus quilt out of it, or I may make another sort of like a lap size quilt for another family member. I'm still debating on that, and it really depends on how much fabric I have left. But anyway, this quilt, the Out to Sea one, will be 94 inches square, so I still have a good ways to go. My goal is to have this done for Father's Day, so don't know if I'll make it or not, but I'm going to try. And then I'm also working on a baby quilt for some friends back in Louisiana. Their daughter is expecting her first child in May. And so this quilt is from a Sew Sampler box a few months ago. It's called Acorn Caps. And I am hand quilting it. And I'm having to make myself do it. Cross stitch is taking over. I don't want to stop. I just want to cross stitch. So anyway, this is what I've gotten done. And I've shown this before, but I'm going to show you progress. So I'm doing an acorn and oak leaf motif and then echoing around it. And I think I was thinking about this morning, I I agonize over how I'm going to quilt something. And just sort of like how I'll fall back to the vertical organic lines on the machine, I think I'm just going to fall back to doing a Baptist fan on everything. Number one, I love the simplicity of the way it looks. I love the ease of the marking, the ease of the stitching. Unless something is just saying, oh, this is what you need to do, and I'm like agonizing over how to quilt it, I'm just going to go to my standby Baptist fan. Maybe I can make it like a trademark. This is my trademark. This is what I do. So, whatever. Okay. That's going to take me forever, especially with considering that I'm having to force myself to pick it up and work on it. My goal was to have it done and shipped in May, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so those are my quilting whips. Now on to cross-stitch whips. And I've had to make a second container that I hold all of my stitching bags in. I've shown you this one before. And now I had to put some in this one. And honestly, this one's a little smaller than that other one. And I'm going to share a little bit later. I said I wasn't going to do anything for Maynia. And I changed my mind. I'm not going crazy, but I am going to do some starts in May. And I won't have room in these buckets that I have. So anyway, unless I finish some things. Okay. So first up is the Aurifil Collecting Colors Sew Along. And let me show you. This is the finished project done by Susan Aki. This is a free pattern put out on the Aurifloss blog, which is Aurabuzz, every month. It started in January, and I think it's maybe 8 months. Because you'll get, like the first month we got the grid and the fill on the grid. And then this past month in February, we haven't gotten March yet. In February, we got 2 quilt blocks. I am changing the colors. I'm not using Aurifloss. I don't have any Aurifloss, and I'm not looking to really collect any or build up a stash of it or anything, which was sort of the the goal of this, because it's called Collecting Colors. But I don't, I love Aurifil thread, but I don't have to have the floss, so much prefer collecting the fancy floss from the Floss Fix Club with Fat Quarter Shop. But anyway, I am changing. I'm doing purple where she was doing blue. I'm doing a lighter green. I change up some of the colors on the quilt block this month. But it's really fun to stitch. So that's that. And that is on 28 count. 28 count. I think it's just plain white. Just white Monaco. And then I'm doing the free mystery stitch along by Linen and Threads, and this is what we've gotten so far. I haven't put any of the initials in. I'm going to wait until the end. I am behind, but this is my progress. This is only this is all of January and then part of February, and I haven't even started on March. And this is on 14 count oatmeal Aida. And then the floss that I'm using is just the Variations by DMC, number 4211. And I got my first couple of skeins of that at Joann, but I knew I needed to get some more, so I did my first order through 1, 2, 3 Stitch and picked up some more skeins of that. And let's see, I don't know if I've gotten much of anything done on this one, but let's see. This is the Chockfull Jar Mary. This is the collaboration between Priscilla Blaine of the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch and Hands On Design. On this board. I don't think I've done any more since last video. I think it's really cute. I love those colors together. And I'm pretty sure I haven't. I've shown you all of my, all that I've got done as far as my Shabby Advent. I haven't done any more of them. Well, in the bag. I think I've shown you all that I've gotten done. But let me just show you again. Okay, so I'm in the process of working on number 13. Got 14 done. I'm pretty sure I showed these. 16. I did have some of these that I had fully finished before Christmas last year, but I just fell behind and didn't keep up. So okay, this is the craft room from Shannon Christine Designs, and I have decided that I am going to change the colors on the machine. I love these colors, but I'm a purple fanatic, so I really want my machine to be purple. So I kind of chose some colors to change out on that during the week, which I didn't pull them yet, but because I just decided. Well, maybe I did. I pulled some. So these two, and then sorry guys, these three. So those will replace the colors on the machine. And I'm going to keep everything else like it is, but the machine, I want it to make it purple. And I've gotten a little bit done. My grandson had played in some basketball games last weekend, weekend before last. No, last weekend, because I worked last weekend, but I was off on Friday, and he had a game on Friday. I missed the one on Saturday. But anyway, I brought this with me to the game and got some done on the scissors. I think this is so pretty. And I'll probably hang it on my craft room door or something like that. Geez, I don't think I've even started this at all. Let me see. I didn't. So I've got everything pulled for the next in the series, the Year of Celebrations for the April, which is right here. I am changing some of the colors in this. So I'm doing all of them on the, what's it called? The Monaco. But I'm changing some of the colors. I wasn't crazy about the orange and the red. So, but I need to get started on this because, you know, I gotta have it done by the end of the month. So, and they really do stitch up real fast, but you have to work on. Maybe eventually I'll get like a better flow. I feel like it's off. Like I want to film here so I can have stuff on the design wall, but it's sort of crowded around me with not a lot of, and I did switch up some stuff today. Like I have my computer with my camera on a drafting chair with a board across it, so that I could put my little cart, which I'd used last time, off to the side with all of the stuff that I need to share, but it's still not enough room. So, okay. This is the Love My Stitching bag from Hands On Design in collaboration with So Much to Love. And when we went shop hopping Saturday, I picked up the fabric. So let me show you the what I've gotten done. I'm real close. Real close. So, these are the fabrics that I chose. They had, I guess all of the Moda Grunge. I wanted, like, can you just give me a yard of every single one of those? OMG, gorgeous. So this is going to be the outside of the bag. I was torn on whether to do a print, and I just fell in love with this grunge, you know, and it's got that, you know, the pinky sort of, just love it. I don't know what you call that color, but I thought this would be really pretty on the outside. And then they had this new fabric, and this will be the inside. Now, when I start making it, if I just say, I can change my mind. Well, maybe not, because I don't know if I got enough fabric to do that, but I just love them. Look how gorgeous that is. Maybe this should be the outside. I don't know. Okay. Well, if I decide that I want it to do that, I can always go back and get another 4th of card. Right. Can always buy more fabric. I'm really happy with the way it's coming out. Yes, I know I'm folding that wrong, but it's going in the bag, so. Okay. Might have gotten a little bit more done on this since last time I showed it. This is the small from the Chock Full series of Boo. And I'm close. All I've got is the little border around it to do. The little the border and the Smyrna stitches. One bucket down. And this is the Patchwork Autumn from Jardin Privé. And I have worked a little bit more on this, and I also got some fabric to finish it. This is also on that 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. I think it's pretty. So when I was picking fabric, I sort of used the little, this sulky that I'm using on the rabbit, and I used it on the rabbit, or is that a squirrel? I think it's a squirrel. The squirrel and the rabbit as sort of my, so this is another one of the Moda grunges, and that the grungy part sort of has that little pink in it. So I thought that was pretty together. So yeah, I did, and it helps so much to have, you know, I had a few other cross stitchers along with us. And I was like, what do you think about this? And yeah, nah. So this was sort of one of the nas, but I like it. So this is the stitch along that Fat Quarter Shop is doing, the Bloomtopia, to raise money for Make-A-Wish. And this is the, that's what the finished piece will look like. They're releasing this in pieces every 2 weeks, and it's, I almost got the latest release done, but I'm not quite there, but I just have a little bit more to do on the basket. So the lavender color was supposed to be a light blue. I'm using the called for DMC colors on a 14 count seafoam, light seafoam Ada. So the light blue thread just blended in with the background. So I changed it to purple, and I'm very happy that I did. I changed it to the lavender. I'm a purple girl, and I just really feel like it needed some purple anyway. So, love this seafoam pattern, color, but, oi, trying to find something to finish it with. So I was thinking, like, trying to pop this, this sort of, I don't know, it's like a dark salmon. I don't know what color it actually is. Does it say? I don't know what it says. So I did find this fabric. That matches that pretty dang close. And I found this fabric and I just fell in love with it, and I got 2 yards of it because I want to use it for quilting and everything. I just think it's so fun. And I'm not sure, but I may use both of those, like do a smaller border with, on mounting board with this next to the piece, and then this bigger. Because I just think that it sort of is going to have the colors that are in here. So it's going to depend when it gets finished what it looks like. So that's a possibility. And, neither one of these, I may decide neither one of these works, and I might just frame this sucker. I don't know, because that seafoam might be kind of hard to find something to go with it. But for now, that's my plan. And I wasn't going to start anything new. And then this came in. And even after it came in, I was like, I'm not going to start it. Because I've already got, like, I'm already working on the snowman. I'm already working on the Mary. I'm already working on the little boo. And then I thought, do I have enough time to finish it before Easter? And I looked at the calendar and said, yeah, you do. So I started it. Isn't it so cute? So this is the chalk foil. I'm in the club with Fat Quarter Shop. And this is what I've gotten done so far. I am going to come back and on this bunny right here, instead of the white, I'm going to do all of the bunnies with the really tealy, I think is the color of it. Because I literally love that in the collars against the green. I think that's what the color that it is. Yes, really tealy. These are the colors. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So, I found these two. So I think I'll probably do a small around the piece and then a larger with this. And when she got ready to cut my half a yard I wanted, she's like, it's only this much on the boat. Do you want all of it? Yes. So these, the grunge, the pretty little purple paisley looking one, these two I got from Three Hens and a Chick in Athens, Alabama. They did give us a 20% off since we were there with the guild. Awesome. They've recently expanded their shop. So if you haven't checked them out, go by and check them out. They're a great group of ladies. Several of the ladies come to our guild here in Rogersville. My dog I really didn't realize I didn't have the door closed all the way, so my dog just walked in. That's what that noise was. what was I going to say? Oh, if you're traveling on I-65 and you're passing through Athens, Alabama, um, I mean, they're just like a probably 10-minute drive for you down Highway 31 South. Um, Definitely check them out if you're passing through the area or you live in the area and you haven't checked them out yet. They're well worth the trip. And then where's this one? Okay, so I'm working on the hip hop, and then I'm also working on the snowy. Sorry, snowy jar. And I have these in the same bag because I'm running out of bags. Not ideal, but it is what it is. I've got a goodly little amount done on this one. And then at a place in Huntsville, Alabama called So Creative, I picked up this piece. I thought it was cute because it looks like you know, cross stitches, and then I thought it was a pretty good match for that lighter colored the lighter color of Fancy Floss, which I think is Frosted Sage. So got that. They also at So Creative gave us 20% off, and at that place is where I picked up the 2 pieces of fabric for the Bloomtopia. I don't know if I said that. The Bloomtopia stitch along from Fat Quarter Shop. That's a fundraiser for Make-A-Wish. And anything I talk about, I link below in the description. So. And this is not a free pattern anymore. And let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Probably more easily on my phone, which is buried. This is the spring chart from Jan Hicks Creates. This was free in the month of February. She did a free pattern to celebrate her 2nd year of being on FlossTube. So I've only, I think maybe the one thing that I ever did that wasn't on Ada is the thing that destroyed my eyesight way back when I was cross-stitching before. Made me quit cross-stitching. And I don't even know what kind of fabric it was on, and I don't know where I got it or whatever, but I haven't ever stitched anything else on linen. I mean, I know it's not an Ada, but I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, when I was starting the year of celebration stitches, I did try it on a linen that I got from Fat Quarter Shop that was very inexpensive, less than $5. And it was total crap. It was like stitching on gauze. And I was like, screw linen, no way. I did leave a review sharing my honest opinion, and they did contact me and said, we want you to be happy. Here's a credit. So, I mean, you know, they have the best customer service and of anybody, Fat Quarter Shop, I'm telling you. Anyway, it's, you know, still like I see all these pretty pieces done on linen. I've got to try linen. So I got a piece from Joanne. I did use a coupon, so it didn't cost me as much as what it was. It's like $9. I still think it's crap. but I am stitching the spring on it currently. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing it on it because they look more like rectangles to me than squares. And I have since splurged on some quality linen from Fat Quarter Shop, and I'll show you that in a minute. And yeah, you do get what you pay for. But these are the threads that I'm using. These are from Mrs. Sada's, who is in Spain, and these are silk. My first time stitching with silk. It's so soft. I did decide to do, I think I've decided. This is only one strand. I didn't like I don't know, I just didn't like it with 2 strands. But I don't know if that's because of the fabric, and I'm not going to like it no matter what, because the fabric is just, I mean, they're almost squares, but they're just a little wider than they are tall. And so I just don't know. I probably will, I may just chunk this and start doing this on, I have some white Monaco. Because I mean, I honestly, I don't know if I can afford to stitch on linen exclusively, because it's not cheap, you know. I don't know. I'm still mulling it over. I do want to try my hand at dyeing some fabrics, because I've been seeing some watching some floss tubers that dye their own fabric. And I need to add her to my list of shout outs. So I just realized I forgot to put her on here. But anyway, and then someone in the Stitching with the Housewives group on Facebook showed some fabric that she dyed with Kool-Aid. And I have a piece that I'm planning on starting for my birthday in November that I need just the right shade of pink, and what she showed looked like a pretty close shade. So, okay. So that's my whips and some of my haul. The rest of my haul. Sorry. Sorry you had to look at my back. This is the Sew Sampler box for February. This month, March, is going to be my last month. I'm stopping it after that because I'm starting a block of the month with them in July. And I also, I've got the Floss Fix Club. I've started with the Stitch Quarterly, which I'll show you in a little while. That came in Saturday. My husband texted me, he's like, shopping all day, and then you get home and you got stuff from Fat Quarter Shop. Yay! Got the Stitch Quarterly, the Floss Fix, and then now I took the plunge and joined the Linen Club. So, anyway, this is how it looks when you open it. And this, I think this is my favorite they've ever done. This is the block of the month, which is why I'm continuing through March, because this is block 11, and then next time will be 12 and the finishing. And then I'm stopping it because I started making this pattern. And I haven't worked on it in a while, so I don't have anything to show. We got this diagonal seam tape from Cluck Sew. It's pretty cool. You use it, you put it on your machine, and you don't have to draw lines for half square triangles or flying geese. Winner. So this is, pause. This is the Mackinac Island by Minnick and Simpson. If anyone knows why it's pronounced Mackinac and not Mackinac, please tell me, because I've looked online and it's like, I mean, I know that's how you say it, but why? This is gorgeous. This was like on my wish list anyway, and oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, pretty. Aren't these just so pretty? Look at that blue. You know, I say I'm a purple girl, but I really like blue. My mom's favorite color was blue. So she would adore this. And then we got the pattern to make this table runner. This is on my immediate radar. We got this little template. It's called a half hexagon template for meat in the middle. That's the name of the pattern, meat in the middle. And then we got a spool of 80 weight Aurifil. And I probably already have this color, but you can never have too much thread. So that was all in the Sew Sampler box for February. Love it. Okay. And then, like I said, Saturday, the Stitch Quarterly came in. This is a new offering from Fat Quarter Shop. I honestly don't know if they have any spots left. I think they maybe do have some spots left. I know Sew Sampler is wait list, but this one I think they have some. So this is a quarterly box, and what was I going to say? I don't know. It's cross stitch. I mean, maybe you knew that already, but so this is the pattern this month. Isn't that so pretty? And so each month you get a pattern that is, it's like you get it 45 days before everyone else gets it. You get a needle, you get fabric, you get floss, and a notion. So it was all wrapped up in this pretty brown ribbon. Showed you the pattern. You get the bag. This month the fabric was this whitewash board. And when I got home Saturday, I was like, oh, I gotta just start stitching it. And so I just started stitching it. It's DMC flosses. These are the flosses. We got this little box with a little needle minder, and the needle was in it, and it was a Bowen cross stitch tapestry needle, size 26. And then we got this cool little new notion that It's So Emma just came up with. I love this because, I mean, I have these components in different pieces of items. So I love that they put it all together. So it's a ruler, it's a cloth counter, it's a corner guide, and it's a reference guide that tells you if you're sewing on this fabric, this is the size needle you want to use, and this is how many strands of floss. So how cool is that? Love it. So we got that. And I believe, I don't know, I think maybe they put it on the site right as this was coming out. So we were the first ones to get it. And then they will eventually release the pattern, but it's like 45 days after the club. So yeah, so that's, you know, another reason that I'm letting the Sew sampler box go. I mean, I wish I could just buy all the stitchy things, but I mean, honestly, I have so many Sew samplers that I want to get caught up on making them anyway. So this is a good time to stop when I have some other things that I want to do. I've loved getting them, believe me, but I kind of want to do some different stuff. Okay. Last time I forgot to show this. I had gotten this in before my video, but forgot to show it. The Charming Baby Quilts book by Melissa Corey. This is published by It's So Emma. And it has the most adorable little patterns in it. So since I'm a volunteer for Project Linus, I thought this would come in handy for pattern, you know, ideas. And let's see, it's got, does it say 10 baby quilts, and it's all charm square based. And at the Project Linus get together that we had in Huntsville, they had a freebie table, and excuse me, one of my friends from the guild here in Rogersville made it over to the freebie table before I did, and she came back and she's like, "Would you like this?" "Yes, please." So I thought this would be a really pretty companion piece to the Collecting Colors sew along that I'm doing, because it's also like a quilt. It's a little basket quilt. And it came with the cloth and the floss. DMC floss. And it just says fabric. It doesn't say. It's not Ada. It looks like just an even weave, not a linen. It doesn't have all the, of course, not all linens have the slubs, so I'm still a little confused on that. If you watch Jan Hicks' Beginners Cross Stitch, Basics of Cross Stitch series, when she talks about linen and even weave, she considers linen an even weave because it's the same number of stitches on the warp and the weft across and up and down. So I consider even weave different from linen. And I could be wrong, but that's just what I consider. Okay. I did pick up some Easter decor at Hobby Lobby. Oh, let me show you this first. When we went to the Three Hens and a Chick, they gave us these little goodie bags with 3 fat quarters in them, and these are the ones that I got. And then my friend Rita, when she looked in her bag, she's like, "Look, it's the LSU colors." So she gave me this one out of hers. So, and I tried to let her pick one of mine, and she was like, "No, no." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I don't need any more." So that was real sweet that they did that for us. I picked up some Easter decor at Hobby Lobby. Basically, some things that I think I want to use to complete my hip hop. A chock full jar. I thought the small would look really cute on that. This is ATCM 93120. I thought about using these like in the middle of the bows. Someone, I don't remember who, used some little wood cutouts to finish something that they painted them. And these are really cute. How long is this video? Okay. My washing machine's starting, and my door was closed, but then my dog opened it, so you may hear water pouring and stuff. So sorry. But I got these little cutouts to accentuate. And then they have this cute little egg garland. I don't have a whole lot of like Easter type decoration stuff, so I was excited to pick up these. And let's see, what else? I did pick up these marking pens at the So Creative place in Huntsville. These, you know, they have friction pens that people do use in quilting, but those are not designed for fabric. And so it's a lot of controversy on whether or not to use them on the fronts of your quilts or not. I have used them. I do test them out to make sure that the marks remove. I have found that like on batiks, the marks leave a ghosting. Like even when you iron it and the ink disappears, but it leaves, you can still see a line. So these are not the brand that I've used before as far as an ink pen, but these are made for fabric. So the other ones that I used, like I said, it wasn't this brand, but I had good success with them. So I'm going to test these on the acorn quilt for marking that pattern. Okay. Is that all the Easter decor? Yes. Okay. So I told you about the linen club. I did join the linen club through Fat Quarter Shop. You get a fat quarter of a neutral colored linen. I think it's 32 count. Let's see. And it's every month. You get it every month. And I think I'm going to be happy with it because I did order some linen from Fat Quarter Shop that I'm going to show you in a minute for some Maynia Plans that I have, and I was pleased with how it looks and the feel of it. So I haven't stitched on any of it yet, but I think I'm going to like it. So I showed you some things on my iPad earlier. My iPad has threatened to die. I don't know how many times. And I've threatened to replace it. And for the last, I don't know how long, I hadn't used it because it's just annoying to try to use it. But with these cross-stitch PDF patterns, trying to do it, mark them off on my phone and stuff, it wasn't cool. So I charged it up and took a bunch of stuff off of it. And it seems to be doing okay for, doing the PDF patterns. I opened them in iNotebox HD and just highlight, as I'm done with it. But it's not real great for doing anything else on it, including like looking up stuff online. So I just want to tell you a little bit more details about the club. Let's see. Let's see if I can filter and find it faster. Cross stitch clubs. Their Fat Quarter Shop lately with the cross stitch stuff has been really not working real well. Like I just filtered it by I I went to clubs and then I filtered it by cross stitch and it said no matching items. So I don't know what's going on, but here it is. It is, sorry for the glare. It's a 28 count woodshot linen. And they'll, let's see, it's 99 cents to sign up, and then it's $19.48 a month. And they've only got the colors listed through June just because they haven't planned that far ahead. But it's March is going to be French lace, natural brown for April, water lily for May, and graceful gray for June. So it's just sort of a little bit more inexpensive way to build up your stash. And, you know, they just send you neutral colors. Okay. So, on last, I don't remember, I think it was last Wednesday. Was it last Wednesday? It couldn't have been last Wednesday. Anyway, I was able to watch one of the more recent Fat Quarter Shop live streams on for their FlossTube, and they talked about flash sale that they were having. They've started doing some cross stitch flash sales, so I couldn't resist. And then they also talked about these bags, these gingham bags, which they had one even smaller than this size in month before last Sew Sampler box, and I love it. I use it to put my all of my everything that I need for each cross stitch project. Like I have one little baggie with, you know, that has my needles. I've showed you this on my Stitch With Me a few weeks ago. But, you know, my needles, my corner gauge, that little gauge that was in that Stitch Quarterly will go in that bag. You know, scissors, highlighters to mark, all the little things that I want to have for each project, that goes in that bag. And then that bag goes in a little slightly bigger bag, one of the Lori Hope bags, and it holds my magnetic board with the magnets. But anyway, they came out with these bags in a pack of 3. And they said that their quantities were getting low, so I snapped them up because I decided I was going to do some Maynia stuff. So I need some more bags, and these are really good quality. So speaking of Maynia, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not doing a start every day. I think I wrote some things down the other day during a slow moment at work. Probably 2 starts a week. I know we'll be getting the next chock full in May, so that's going to be toward the end of the month. That'll be one of my starts. But here's some of my other ones. So, the thing that they had on flash sale was this pattern by Madame Chantilly, which I just think is so pretty. Kimberly actually stitched this with Fat Quarter Shop, and you can't tell from this photo, but this is a really big piece. I mean, it's sizable. It's 57 wide by 193 long. So, I got this Venetian stone linen. It's a witch else. It's a 28 count to stitch this on. So I don't know if you can, I mean, I can definitely like look at this and tell that it's much better quality than the stuff that I got at Joann's. Now, Was it the same price? Absolutely not. This was definitely more expensive, and like that's what I said, I don't know if I can really afford to stitch exclusively on linen. This is an 18 by 27 piece, so a fat quarter. And I did get, I'm sorry, I didn't separate them out. This pattern calls for, I think DMC, I'm pretty sure. Yes. So I haven't kitted any of these up, so I just went through do y'all know about the X-Stitch app? So this X-Stitch app, that's my cover. My girls together with their pieces that I gave them for Christmas. But you can keep an inventory. So I went to my threads inventory and went to my DMC and saw what colors I had and what colors I didn't. And then there's a shopping cart. So you can go through those thread lists and mark down which ones you need. So I went through and marked the ones that I needed for my love, and I picked for my love and from some other of my Maynia plans, and I picked those up when we were at Patches and Stitches, which is in Huntsville. It's a quilt shop and a cross stitch shop, and so I picked up all of the flosses that I was lacking for basically three projects that I have in my Maynia plans. Three, but one of them is 3 patterns in one. So these are all the flosses. So this is one Maynia on this fabric. This will be a Maynia. I had given away a pattern that I had bought before to our outgoing president of the Quilt Guild, who's also a cross stitcher. So I needed to replace it, so I've replaced it. And I'll probably do this just on, I have a piece of white, like sparkly Ada, and it will be, I want to do it ombre, pink or purple, don't know yet, but I'm going to use this to, and use Fat Quarter Shop's tutorial to turn this into a little stitching bag. Okay, so one of the things that I picked up from 1-2-3 Stitch, besides my Variations DMC floss, they actually have the buttons that go with the Little House Needleworks Little Sheep Virtues. This one's called Peace, and they actually have the buttons from Just Another Button Company that go with these patterns. So I'm just going to buy, I just bought one to start. And I do want to stitch these. They were created to stitch them individually in these little pillows. I'm going to stitch them all in one piece. Little House Needleworks has the page for this set of patterns, and they did show it. I mean, it's not really done as one piece, but they showed it like the pictures go 3 across and 4 down. So that's how I'm going to do mine. And when I was on 1-2-3 Stitch, I was sort of trying to pick out the fabric to use. So they say they stitch these samples on, it's either 30 count dark chino from R&R, or let's see, inventory charts. That's another thing about this app. You can make notes. So see on the little sheet virtues, I made notes on if I did it on 28 count, I needed this big. If I did it on this count, I needed this big. And then I put the colors that they did it on. So they did it on either 30 count R&R dark chino, and then some of the other ones were on 30 count cocoa from Week Style Works. Well, I don't know what either one of those colors really look like. I mean, I've never seen either one in real life. Just seen them online. So I was looking around on 123 Stitch trying to find something comparable because I couldn't find, either I couldn't find those specific ones or they were outrageously expensive. So when my order from 123 Stitch came in, I had this piece of the tea-dyed Monaco in it. I don't know if I just gave up and said, screw it, I'm just going to do it on this. I don't think I was planning to do that. So I really don't know why I ordered this. I mean, I have some, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I need some more for my year's celebrations. Anyway, I bought some more of this. I don't know if I intended it to go with this, but this is not what I'm stitching that on. While I was at Patches and Stitches, I did buy some linen. And isn't that wonderful that she didn't put anything besides the size? So I have no idea what color this is. So this is, I know it's, dang it. Okay. I mean, she didn't write anything. I didn't realize that I needed to write everything down. So it's a 16 by 20 piece. So this is a 32 count. Actually, I think this is a Lugana. I think it's a Lugana. But I thought that was pretty close to what the models look like they're stitched on. So this will be my piece for this, for the little sheet virtues. And then I told y'all last video about someone I started following on Instagram, autumn.stitches, and she had stitched this Valentine House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. And you know, if I would have seen this pattern, I'd been like, oh, that's pretty. I don't really want to stitch it. But when I saw her colors that she used, I was like, I gotta stitch it. So that's what most of those flosses are for, because she sent me her color list on Instagram. Thank you, Autumn Stitches. I appreciate it. So this will be a Maynia. And I got this from Fat Quarter Shop, 2 pieces, because I think I can fit 2 on one of them, and then not quite a third. I am going to do them separately, but finish them separately. So this is Wachout's 28 count China Pearl linen, which I think is beautiful. They had some China Pearl at Patches and Stitches, and I like it a lot. It sort of has a pinky glow to it. You can't really tell on camera, but it's just got a slight little pink cast to it. So I will start these, this, and this, as well as the Chock-full next release for Maynia. So that's my Maynia plans. I did decide that we are starting a local stitch group, a slow stitching group. We will be Serenity Stitchers of the Shoals. Our first meetup will be Thursday, March the 19th. We're going to start around 11 and probably go to around 2. We will be meeting the first time at one of our local members' homes in Lexington, Elgin. I mean, the address is Rogersville, but if you want more information, I will put my email address in the description box below. And just give me shoot me an email if you want information. I don't want to give her address out to just anybody. But I don't think we're going to meet at homes continually. It's just I had problems getting anything firmed up, and she offered to do it at her house. So let me make a note. Email address for the stitching group. She offered to do it at her house this first time, and we'll kind of talk about what we want to do going forth. For now, I'm only planning on it every 4 weeks, and it will repeat every 4 weeks, not on a certain day of each, certain Thursday of each month because of my work schedule. It'll have to be, every fourth Thursday for now. So I'm excited about that. It'll be and it's not just cross stitch. If you, embroidery, we'll applique anything that you do by hand, smocking, hand quilting, hand piecing, English paper piecing. The only stipulation is anything you don't need a machine for, crochet, knitting, tatting, anything like that. It's welcome. Okay, so I did have a couple of shout outs, some new FlossTubers. Well, a few new that I've watched, and then one that I've watched before but had not mentioned. And that is the gal with So Much to Love. I think her name is Karen. She's the one that did the collaboration on the Love My Stitching bag. She sells bags. She does have a monthly club that you can sign up for, and I did sign up for that, and I paid my first invoice just last week, so I don't know when they ship, but I'll be getting the March bag. So, and she usually she has a Facebook page, and you can go and look and see the previous bag months. So you get a bag, you get a pattern, you get a little notion, and a tee. So looking forward to that. But she also has a FlossTube channel. She's fairly new, so go check her out. She seems real sweet, and has some pretty stitching to share. Then Crosshatch Quilts. She's new to FlossTube, and she has a lot of stitching. She has some quilts that she shows, mostly cross stitch, but she has a lot of stitching, a lot. And then the gal I was talking about that dyes her own fabric, she is Hoops and Needles. She has an Etsy shop. She doesn't sell dyed fabric at this point. She sells like little, she sells key fobs, scissor fobs, and thread rings, I think. She calls them bling for your ring. Like you can put it on your thread ring or your key ring. She sells little drawstring pouches. But she has some really beautiful stitches to share on her channel. And she hand dyes a lot of her fabric. And on her last video, I was like, girl, you need to sell your hand dyed fabric, because where would I want some. She's doing a sampler from Hands Across the Sea called Elizabeth Weston on some hand-dyed fabric that she did. And oh my goodness, it's just, I got goosebumps talking about it right now, y'all. I'm serious, I do. I mean, I've the last 2 times, and I've only watched her twice, and she showed that piece, and number one, I have to stitch that piece, and number two, I want to stitch it on that fabric. Oh gosh, it's gorgeous. It's just, I mean, it's like perfect for that sampler. So it might be hard to, buy that sampler and not be able to stitch it on that fabric. But anyway, check her out, Hoops and Needles. And then a couple of new people that I'm following on Instagram. There's Fiber on a Whim, and then stitch.sew.scrap. So check those out if you're on Instagram. And check me out, Proverbs 31:22. I don't share a whole lot on there, but yeah, I do share. So my stitching and quilting. I think that's it except for the giveaway. Okay. So in order to win, you just have to leave a comment. Don't say giveaway. Don't say free. I don't want to attract any spammers, anything like that. So this is what I'm giving away. It's a $25 Hobby Lobby gift card. And I meant to write down a question for you to answer. And I forgot before I started. So let's just have hobby in the question. So tell me, my favorite hobby is, and then answer the question. And I'll do the little, pardon me, sorry. There's some kind of little app that you can do to capture comments on a post, on a video that have a certain word in it, and then it finds those comments and then it chooses a winner. So your comment needs to say hobby in it. So tell me what your favorite hobby is, if you can pick one. Mine currently is cross stitch. Like I said, I'm having to force myself to even hand quilt. I've been thinking in my head, it's just because you're physically not feeling good and you don't feel like sitting at the machine. But then, like yesterday, I sat on the sofa and cross stitch pretty much all day long while that acorn caps quilt was like right here on the side of me and needed, some stitching love. And it didn't get any because I just cross stitched the whole day. I worked on my the linens and threads sampler, and then the collecting colors. I call that, it's not really a sampler. I guess my Sunday needs to be sampler and sew along, stitch along Sunday. Anyway, okay. So my favorite hobby currently is cross stitch. Even though, I still love quilts. I love making quilts. I want to make more. I went to Joann during the week last week, and I didn't look at one single piece of fabric unless you count 8 of cloth. That was sort of the light bulb moment when I went, okay, cross stitch is taking over and quilting is taking a back seat. And I'm okay with that. Even though I really would like to get back to doing more quilts. And I do have goals of quilts that I want to make for people. So I need to get back to it. I am planning on working on this one today and putting some more borders on it. Of course, it's 11:30 now, so but I can I can at least put the components together, even if I don't put the borders on today. And then I am going to make myself do another motif on the acorn caps quilt. because, you know, I want that baby to have that quilt. So, make myself do it. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. I don't think I forgot anything today. And if I did, I'll share it next time. Okay, happy stitching. Bye.